Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Oh boy, have I been waiting on this one. So when I was in late high school, early college, I worked at a meat market. And if any of them see this, I will never be allowed back there. But we used to lie to customers all the time and tell them that we slaughtered all of the meat in-house and raised it ourselves. That was the lie. We would buy the meat and upcharge it ridiculously because the business grew so fast we couldn't keep up with the supply and demand. Also, there was a butcher who would always be in the basement making spices for the sausage. No, he wasn't making spices. He would hire sex workers and then they would come to the store and have sex with him in the basement. There was also a butcher who had a drug problem and would come to work all the time. Hi. And one day when the store was closed, he and I were doing setup and he had his drug dealer come and the drug dealer wasn't bringing what he wanted, so he threatened him with a knife. It was super safe.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Okay, pardon my appearance, I just woke up. But I worked for the TJX Corporation, which is TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods. And when it comes to their credit cards, this is how they made like a majority of their money. So they would encourage us to push the credit cards. Like we were supposed to ask even after they said no. And we were encouraged to sign people up if they didn't speak a lot of English. That was my biggest issue working with this company because I had managers, like I had coordinators telling me, hey, just because they don't speak a lot of English doesn't mean they can't sign up. They don't know any better. Just sign them up for one and have them fill out the information, even though you can't properly explain to them what it's doing to their credit and how it's going to impact their future. And I fucking hate the TJX Corporation. So whoever the CEO is, you suck.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Also, all of Olive Garden's soups come in bags. They make none of those. They pretty much don't really make anything. They mostly heat stuff up.
Company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
So this was probably like 6 years ago. I worked at Cabela's seasonally, and I did not know this before working there, but anything Cabela's brand, anybody can bring back in exchange for something brand new. I mean, a guy brought in like a pair of boots that were like probably 15 years old. We didn't even make that style anymore, but he got him a brand new pair. Same with pants, shirts, believe fishing equipment, pretty much anything Cabela's brand, you bring it back in, you get one brand new.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
I was a manager at a McDonald's. I worked there for about 3 years. And for the tea, they have a red jug for the sweet tea and a green jug for the unsweet tea. Now, these jugs are 4 gallons big. And for every 4 gallons of the red jug, the sweet tea, there is a full 4-pound bag of sugar emptied into it. 1 pound per gallon of tea. Yeah, I stopped drinking the tea after I realized that because that's nasty.
There's a TikTok going around that says, tell a company secret that you can share now that you're no longer working for the company. And there's this secret that I tell all the people I know in my life, but I've never posted it online because it could possibly be a lawsuit. So I'm going to speak in a little bit of a code so that maybe I don't get sued. And so here it is. And as somebody who's dealt with a lot of issues with food and allergies, this hit really close to home for me. So anyways, I worked for a person who was the head of plastics for a company that kind of sounds a little bit like Ronson and Ronson. And when I was working for them, I walked into their home with a plastic container. And they said, take that out of my home right now. And I was like, hey, you're the head of plastics for Ronson Ronson. Why would it be not okay to bring plastic in your house? And I was like, it's BPA free. And they looked me dead in my face and they were like, take that out of my house now. There is no plastics allowed in my house whatsoever. BPA free means nothing. It just means We replaced it with a chemical equally or more toxic that just hasn't been banned yet. And I will never forget that. Do with that information what you will. But I do not use plastics in my home when I can help it.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
When buying contact lenses, the same contacts that you get for 3 months, 1 month, 2 weeks, and 1 day are the same lenses. But I didn't tell you that.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
I used to be a senior advisor at a huge tech company. We'll call it Pear. But anyway, if you mess up one of your products, your phone or computer or something, there is a person there that can issue you a one-time, it's called a CS code, customer satisfaction code, where you can get something free or get something repaired or something just to restore your faith in that company. It's true. And all you have to do is be polite and get to a senior advisor. Be nice. Don't be rude to people and talk yourself through it.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
I've worked in IT for 10 years now at 3 Fortune 50 companies, and yes, they do watch your chat logs, so be careful what you say in your chat and your emails.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
While there are absolutely teachers and some faculty that do care, public education as an entity gives zero shits about your kids, about their education, about their well-being, about their health, about their mental health, about their ability to make it out in the world once they're done with them.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Did you know C19 PCR labs make you sign an NDA? Mine expires today.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
I didn't participate in this. I just found out about it. They photoshopped dinosaurs into the pictures. They didn't actually do anything to the original photos. They're behind the actual photos. They took the photos, scanned them, photoshopped dinosaurs into them, put the Photoshop photos in front of them, and then hung them back on the walls. And people take tours of this place. Take full-on tours of this place and look at these photos. And there's just little dinosaurs on the hills. So there's that.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
I worked at a makeup store on and off for about 6 years. We'll call the store Fedora. And whenever we would have something fall on the floor or come in broken, we would take a cotton swab with alcohol and pat it down so it could be sold again. But truthfully, that's not the most trifling shit that we did at Fedora. Let me know if y'all want to hear more.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Have you ever had the chili at Wendy's? You know there's meat in it, right? Don't worry, the meat is real. But at Wendy's, you're only allowed to have 6 pieces of big meat and small meat on a grill at a time. And right above the grill, there are 2 drawers. Each one has a plastic bag. Now, as you go throughout the day, that meat tends to burn. And when that meat gets burnt, you take that meat off the grill, and then you put it into that bag. At the end of the shift, not the day, just the shift, you take that bag and you put it in the freezer. And usually it sits in the freezer for about 48 hours. After that 48 hours, when you need to make a new batch of chili, you take that meat and put it into a big pot, and you boil it. And you boil the meat for roughly about 30 to 45 minutes. Once you've boiled the meat, you remove the water and put it into a colander and then grind up the beef. Once you've done that, you would take that ground up meat and you put it back into the same pot, and then you add your sauce, water, diced onions, and bell peppers, which comes frozen in a bag, your chili seasoning, and then you let it cook for about 4 hours. Yeah, if you've ever eaten the chili at Wendy's, you're eating burnt, 2-day-old boiled ground beef. Enjoy.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one. Clear Lake Isles Apartments in Cocoa, Florida has a radon problem. The property was built in 2017. Residents found out there was a radon problem and reported it to Channel 9 News. Ta-da! So not after resident complaints, but after it came on the news, Royal American Management, who manages and owns the property, decided that they were going to put radon mitigation systems on the first floor units only. Testing was done again to verify there wasn't a problem, but that's not the case, is it? All of the first floor apartments are reading at a 0. Radon levels in the existing second and third floor apartments, oh shit! Yeah, they're at like a 10. Mind you, this is a senior apartment community. Royal American disclosed that everything was okay and there was no longer a problem, only because the first floor units were showing no radon. Fun fact, I also lived there. I lived on site and I was the property manager from December of 2018 to March of 2021. Do you think they did anything about it? No, and people are gonna fucking die. Have fun getting sued, bitch!
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
If you shoplift from a large big box home improvement store and most large national and international retailers, the company policy is not to chase after or prosecute the shoplifter, but instead write it off as a loss at the end of the year for a tax break.
I have worked at quite a few restaurants in New York City. Maybe 4 or maybe like 4 or 5, I think. And I promise you this. If you've been to a restaurant in Manhattan, they have rats. They have rats. I did not say mice. I'm not talking Ratatouille. I'm talking Master Splinter. Big, huge rats. And you're like, well, why didn't I see them? Because when rats are afraid of noise. So when you come in the morning, that's when they're there. When you open the restaurant, they're there. But then once people start moving around more, you have to like go around clanging pots and pans. And the more people show up, the more the rats stay away. But I'm telling you, especially if it's in Manhattan, especially if it's accessible from the first floor. Oh, baby. Yes, that restaurant has rats. I remember going into work on days and having to, like, you walk in the morning, you just smell that a rat has died somewhere in the walls, somewhere inside of a booth, and you can't find it. So the amount of covering up and air freshener and candles and, yeah, New York City, Manhattan restaurants are nasty. And there's probably going to be a bunch of us commenting below being like, oh yeah, guaranteed. And anyone that tells you their restaurant does not have that, don't believe them.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
This one haunts me the most.
I had a boss that was selling incomplete programs to people. It'd be really uncomfortable whenever I brought this up to the boss. They would dismiss me, say I couldn't say anything, and that they were working on it. But they weren't. No progress was being made in the program. And then when people would catch up to that point, I noticed they were adding things to slow people down so that the clients wouldn't catch on. The whole thing made me wildly uncomfortable and makes me feel awful for all of those people who think they have a completed program and they might never get it. It just literally haunts me.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Okay, so I was actually regional manager for the mattress firm in Dunedin, Florida, next to Clearwater Beach. There's always everybody talks about, oh, mattress firms, just all these mattress firms, it has to be like a drug front or whatever, which is ridiculous. It's people, we were smuggling people. I did stuff. And how do I make this right?
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
The one that I think I remember the most was working at a it's Papa John's. I worked at Papa John's, and so basically there are trays underneath like racks that you put all of the ingredients on top of the pizza on, and anything that falls falls into these trays underneath the racks. And basically, every so often, you have to lift up the racks, pick out all of the ingredients that have fallen and have now been sitting together and at room temperature, and put them back into the bin so that all of the food can be reused and they don't throw any of it away.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
I don't know if this is a company secret, a federal secret, a state secret, a county secret, world secret. 911 systems are not regulated by anybody. By anybody. I worked for a software company that designed this. Yeah. No regulation whatsoever. And there are states, counties, cities that don't use 911 systems. Or they're so old, they don't have updated stuff. Now, this is pre-pandemic, so that could have changed. Doubt it, but it could have changed.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
I used to work for a specific vitamin company. I won't name them, but do know that there is a hint to which one they are. But if you go to Target and buy any Target brand vitamin, especially the gummy vitamins, you are more than likely getting something that is the exact same product to a T, including the formula, how it's made, same facility it's made in, just with a different packaging. That's it. And the same applies for a lot of sugar, flour, and other brand name items. A lot of times they make off brands on contracts and just put different labeling on it. So you can get something for cheap that is the exact same product if you can figure out who makes it.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Recipes to try this delicious soup for yourself at home next week, Kelsey.
This one is out for massage therapists. I found that a lot of massage therapists are starting to follow me. So especially if you're in school thinking of massage therapy school, take this tidbit and run with it. But every franchise massage place, I'm not naming anybody, but every massage place, they will work you like a horse because they give you 10 minutes in between sessions to flip rooms and talk to your person and talk to the next person. And when they say that, oh, it's an hour massage, no, it's 50 minutes. They advertise an hour and don't give you the whole hour. They say, oh, it's $119 for a massage. Shop local.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Sure. For 2 years before the employee shot the cop, I told management something bad was going to happen. But they didn't want to hear it.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
The reason you're so kind of addicted to Raising Cane's is because it's marinated in MSG. It's not just salted, it sits in MSG for like 24 hours.
And subscribe. We publish new videos every day.